Good morning, everyone. Sorry about that, running a little bit late here, a few technical hitches. And then my technical support spilled his coffee all over the floor, so there you go. Anyway, we're right on track now. And so Faye requested, well, Faye and Sheridan have been saying you've got sore knees. So feet and knees will be our focus today, but we won't forget the rest of the body because everything starts with a strong center. Strong core. Okay, good. So I did say please have a chair and a ball, either a spiky ball or a tennis ball. And if you do have a roller, not everybody does have a roller, but if you do have one, have that close by. And we'll start with standing spine roll. So you do need to, all those leg stretches are important with knee pain. So we do, and foot pain. So for sore feet, we do need that good calf flexibility, and for knees we do need the flexibility in the hamstrings, the thighs and the buttocks. Okay, so we will start with all that stretching. Standing spine roll. All right, so deep breath in, grow taller, breathing out, chin to chest, peel your spine off that imaginary wall. Notice how far down you are reaching. Lie and use the abdominals to support your spine and uncurl to the upright. And again, deep breath in, grow taller, breathing out, chin to chest and roll it down. Notice how far down you are reaching. Lie and use the abdominals and uncurl to the upright. And last one, breathe in, grow taller, breathing out, chin to chest. Peel your spine off that imaginary wall. Notice how far down you're reaching. Use the abdominals from halfway up. Tuck with the pelvis and squeeze the core to the upright. Okay. So a little bit of, so you can't actually see my feet here. So we'll do a little bit of balancing to start. Because that balancing, you will notice all the small muscles of the feet are having to work when you are balancing. Okay, so just doing a mirror image of me, make sure that you're not going to kick your husband or the chair behind you, and doing a mirror image of me. So be aware of that foot that you're standing on, leaning to the side. So you want to be aware of that tripod foot position. So weight through the base of the big toe, the outer border of the foot, and the center of the heel. So create that arch. Just make sure that you're not rolling in on your arch. Now, if this balancing is too much for you, you can just hold on to a chair and just be standing like that. And now lean to the opposite wall. Don't let your foot touch the floor. So it's still a sideways lean at this point. So strong through your center and pinch through the buttocks. Slowly up. Now get your whole body parallel to the floor. Lift your leg up until your heel is in line with your hip. Shoulder blades are in pocket and keep your hips facing square down towards the floor. So now you can look at your foot and see where that weight is distributed. You'll notice how hard your foot is working. Slowly up. Knee up to the level of the hip, arms up, and eyes closed. Easing out of that, so give that leg a shake and changing sides. So nice and strong through your center, leaning to the side. Nice deep breaths, concentrate on your breathing, get the breath to the base of the lungs. Maintain a tuck under with the tailbone, so always be aware of the position of your pelvis. And aware of that tripod foot position. Lean to the opposite wall, so still a sideways lean, trying to not touch the floor. Slowly up. Now the more difficult one, getting the whole body parallel to the floor. Lift your leg up until your heel is at the level of your hip. Draw shoulder blades into pocket and tuck your chin in. Look at that working foot. Notice how hard it is working. Also press your toes gently into the floor. Slowly up, knee up to the level of the hip, arms up and eyes closed. And easing out of that, give that leg a little shake. So first of all, we're going to do a calf stretch. I'm just going to, for purposes of demonstration, do it against the chair, but you're really wanting a nice firm surface. So probably against the wall, but it's just because I want you to see properly what I'm doing here. So make sure that your hips are square onto that chair and that your back foot is straight. Or you can try turning those toes slightly inwards. Okay, so you're looking for your firmest stretch. You're wanting a straight line from the crown of the head down towards the back heel. So you're not wanting that. So just lean forward. You may need to bend your elbows and press that back heel. Maintain a tuck under with the tailbone. Hips are square on and press your back heel down flat. So you're concentrating on that back leg. So your foot either straight or those toes slightly in. Still having shoulder blades in pocket, neck in line with the rest of the spine. And then changing sides. So either toes in, otherwise foot straight. Tuck under with the tailbone and that straight line from the crown of the head down towards your back heel. Press that back heel down flat. So straighten that back knee and press your back heel down. And easing out of that. Now the next one, you're probably against a wall. I'm just going to put my mat up like that to demonstrate. So it's dynamic stretching, so you're going to be moving with this one. So I'm concentrating on this front leg. Now the closer your foot is to the wall, the easier it is. So just work within your limits. What we're aiming to do is keep the knee in line with the second toe and bend the knee to try to get that kneel. So we're working on this leg, the front leg. And try to get your knee as close to the wall as possible while keeping that heel down. Now you're stretching closer to the Achilles tendon. So lower into that calf, the deeper calf muscle. So we're just slowly going up and down. It's dynamic stretching. So you're moving through your stretch. Don't worry about this leg, just have it where it's comfortable. Concentrating on that front leg. Trying to get the knee to touch the wall and changing sides. So have it where it is a challenge to get the knee touching the wall. And don't worry if your knee is not touching the walls, just so long as you're getting that stretch there. So foot more or less straight, knee in line with that second toe, and try to get that knee as close to the wall as you can without letting it flop inwards. And keep that heel pressed flat. All right. So for sore feet, I'd suggest stretching those calves, both of those stretches at least 5 times during the day. All right. So you're wanting that frequent stretching. So tight calves can give you sore feet. All right. Okay. Now some balancing. So we're wanting to get those small muscles of the feet working. So some heel raises. You can hold on to your chair. First of all, we're just going to go up and down fairly fast, and then we will slow it down. So when we're going fairly fast, we're working the calf muscles. When we slow it down, we're concentrating more on the small muscles of the feet. So think of contracting those small muscles of the feet. So you can hold onto your chair, otherwise tuck with the pelvis. So try and keep your balance, keep your feet straight as if you're holding something between your ankle bones, that when you rise up, your feet are straight. Just angle that down a touch so that you see my feet. All right. So rising up and then down. All right. So up, Squeeze the core, pinch through the buttocks. So just sideways, you're wanting yourself to be there. Make sure you're not doing this sort of thing. Keep your hips above your ankles. So up and then down. So most of the weight is on the base of the big toe. 70% on the base of the big toe and 30% distributed through the other toes. So trying to keep it in time. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Yes, I'm wanting you to feel those calf muscles working. You're still squeezing your core and shoulder blades are in pocket. Up and down, up and down. So get those calves working. All right, now we're going to slow it down. So that's it. One to snap on throughout the day. 10 quick heel raises while you're waiting for the kettle to boil. So slowly up. Now contract those small muscles of the feet. Rising up for 5, hold for 5, down for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it there while you squeeze the buttocks, squeeze the core, and think of contracting through those feet muscles as you slowly lower yourself down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As high as you can as you hold it there. Squeezing the core, squeezing in from those inner thighs. Slowly down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And 5. And one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Careful that you're not rolling out through those ankles. Keep those feet nice and straight and slowly down. 1, hold it there, hold it, hold it. 2, hold it, hold it. 3, 4, not down yet. And 5. Just give them a little shake. All right. And now we're wanting to stretch through the top of the foot and coming through into the shin. So first of all, bring the leg in 2 different ways. Bring the leg across the body and push forwards with the heel. So your foot is in a straight line now. And press that base of the big toe down into the floor. If you are cramping, you may have to just take it slowly. Okay, you might have to give it a bit of a shake and then just gently try again. Pressing, so heel is pressed forwards, the weight is on the base of that big toe. And now roll the foot back. So you've got the weight more, you're dropping that heel back and the weight is more on the little toe side of the foot, and press that into the floor. Now you should feel it coming up slightly through the shin there. And give that foot a bit of a shake. And to the other side. Now another way that you can do it is having your foot behind you. All right, so your foot can be straight and you just take it back like that, or you can sickle it out for the other one. But I find this way easier. So heel is pressed forwards, pressing into the floor, press down quite firmly. My heel is pushed forwards. And now, more on the little toe, and drop the heel back down, push into the floor. And easing out of that. Okay, we'll take that out of the way. And we will do some more leg ones on the floor, just bringing you in a little closer. Okay. Too much noise out there, I'll just close that door. So with these feet ones now, just throughout the day, do lots of pointing and flexing up and down. If you find you're cramping, just don't point those toes quite so much. Keep your toes a little bit more relaxed, or the toes can be up. So get that movement through the ankle. Also turn your feet inwards, so the soles of the feet are in. Just wondering if you'll see me better this way. Turning the soles of the feet in and turning the soles of the feet out. Soles in towards each other and soles out. And then as large a circle as you can. So try and be nice and symmetrical and nice large circles through the ankles. you will go in both directions. So that's something that you can do small amounts during the day. So snack on those. But now we're wanting the small muscles of the feet to be working. So sitting back and shoulder blades are in pocket, flex your feet strongly and curl your toes in as much as possible, as if you were trying to hold a pencil with those toes. And now separate your toes out wide. So curl those toes in tight, as if you're holding that pencil, and then separate your toes out wide. Now, what you can do to make it a little bit more challenging, it's as if you're picking a cherry. So point, pick your cherry, so curl those toes in, careful you make that. And as you come up, hold onto your cherry, and then let your cherry go. So pick your cherry, so it's as if you're squeezing those toes together, curling them in, reaching up, curl those toes in as much as you can while feet are flexed, and then let your cherry go. Separate your feet out wide. So take it down, curl those toes in. Now keep those toes as curled as possible, and then separate those toes out wide. I'll just do it once more, so take it down, squeeze and bring up and curl those toes in tight, tight, tight. Flex your feet as much as you can, and then separate your toes out wide. Okay. Another good thing that you can do to get those small muscles of the feet working is pick things up with your toes. So I've got my TheraBand here, and you can just be curling those toes in to pick your TheraBand up. And so at any time of the day, or a sock or anything on the floor, pick it up. So curl those toes in to pick that up. All right. Okay, so that's something else that you can do to get those small muscles of the feet working. And we also want you to get that full range backwards like that. So you can either hold it like that. Now that is easier. Otherwise, if you want something firmer and your knees are out, so just be careful if you have sore knees, but tuck your toes under and then sitting back so that you stretch out through those toes. All right, and the other thing to do with the feet is either with your tennis ball or with your spiky ball, roll your foot on that ball. Okay, so think of rolling the forefoot into the arch of the foot and rolling your heel. So either that tennis ball, otherwise your ball, push into it, push in, and it is better with a sock on. Can be a little harsh without a sock. Really get into that arch, push in, looking for sore spots, push in. So those 3 different areas, really work on them and onto your heel. So massage onto that, push onto that. Okay. So that's also something that you can do small amounts during the day. And if you do have sore bases, a sore heel, or sore underneath the foot, wrapping your foot in a hot pack a couple of times a day is a good idea as well. Okay, we're going to go on to, so that is the feet. Well, quite a few things for you to do for the feet. And now we're going to do leg stretches. We're going to do hamstring stretch. You can use a band or not use a band. And remember, if you do have that sore neck, pop your towel in underneath your head. So band right around the forefoot of your right foot. Pressing up with the heel, down with the hip, bend the elbows, knee towards your shoulder. Keep your chin tucked in. Keep equal pressure throughout the buttocks. Flex that foot back strongly. Get your knee as straight as possible, but as soft, but keep it soft, so it's not completely locked. You should feel it into that hamstring and into the calf as you flex them. We're going to stretch the IT band as well, because often with sore knees, you can have a tight IT band on the outside of that thigh. So with the left leg out straight, your right foot turned out, leading with your heel, that leg comes across your body. If you've got a hip replacement, do not do that. You'll still continue to do your hamstring stretch. And you know what you're doing though. And Glennis as well. Ease it back to the center. We'll stretch through the inner thigh. Bend your left knee. Allow both knees to flop out to the side. Push out through your right heel so you feel that stretch into your inner thigh. So equal pressure on those buttocks. Easing out of that, changing legs, and wide around that forefoot. So pressing up with the heel, down with the hip. Bend the elbows, knee towards your shoulder, checking that your foot is straight and that your foot is flat. Nice deep breaths. Get the breath to the base of the lungs. Always comparing left and right side and checking that you're feeling the stretch in the right position. The right place, right muscle. Now your outie band, have the right leg out straight. Turn the left foot out, bring that leg across your body. Still keeping that left buttock pressed onto the floor. Soften. And keep it pulled in towards the chest as much as you can take it. So don't allow that left buttock to lift off the floor. Back to the center, bend your right knee, allow both knees to flop out to the side. Equal pressure through onto the buttock, straight in that left knee. And easing out of that, and a buttock stretch, left foot on the right knee, hold behind your right thigh, or your firmest stretch in front of your right knee, hugging the thigh towards your chest. Now looking for that firmest stretch, so you might want to drop that right knee slightly to the right hand side. Easing out of that, you want your pelvis to be square and stable. Watch out for hitching of that pelvis. So you're trying to let that knee drop out wide, but without twisting through your pelvis. So you swap legs. Put that thigh in close. Try dropping that left knee to the left hand side, looking for your firmest stretch into that right buttock. And easing out of that. Now we're going to go over onto our stomachs for a thigh stretch. If you do have a sore knee, you may want to at this stage pop your band around your ankle to help you with that thigh stretch. Otherwise you can go to your side if you're finding it too hard on the stomach. But on our stomachs we get that full range of movement because the hips are pressed into the floor. And you know you've got that full range of movement when the heel is touching the buttock, the hips are pressed down flat, and you're pulling those abdominals in. So squeeze the buttocks tight and press your hips into the floor. Nice deep breaths. And changing sides. Heel to the buttock, squeezing the buttocks tight, pressing your hips down flat. Obviously, if you've got a sore knee, you're working within your limits here, but you're trying to get those thigh muscles stretched because often tight thigh muscles are also implicated in sore knees. So stretch them out as much as you can. And easing out of that. And quite by coincidence, we're practically in the hover position. Because with sore feet and sore knees, you still need a strong center. And we are doing our 2-minute hover. We got let off lightly on Monday, not so lucky today. But always working within your limits. Stay on the knees if you need to. And remember, it's all in that tuck with the pelvis so that you activate the tummy. If you go into an arch, you're activating the back muscles. If you do that, you'll end up with a sore back at the end of it. So make sure that you're tucking under. Even though we're holding for 2 minutes, you may need to go in and out of that position a few times. Feel free to drop back to the knees or just relax out of it if you need to. Now be really vigilant, checking your position, elbows in underneath the shoulders, and look, check for yourself that your hips are shoulder height. So that is your start position. Tuck your toes and hold it there. Now concentrate on your breathing Nice, deep, slow breaths. Remember, you're only going to get the benefits of the hover if you do it, not if you just observe it. Tuck under with the tailbone. Yes, sir. I'm looking at all of you just watching me. Tuck under with the tailbone, pinching through the buttocks, squeezing the core. Breathe in for 4, a slow breath out for 6. Breathe all the air out, squeezing the core as well as engaging through the pelvic floor. Keep those hips up at shoulder height. Make sure they're not dipping down and that you're not swaying into your lower back. No hunching with your shoulders. The shoulder blades are pressed down towards the hips. That's already a minute. You're practically on the home run. Pinching the buttocks will give you more stability. And remember, this is a wonderful one to warm up. It's a little bit cooler now. Winter is on its way. Just takes 2 minutes and you're a lot warmer at the end of this. Keep that breathing deep and slow. Keep concentrating on that tuck under with the tailbone. On your breath out, squeezing the core and engaging through that pelvic floor. Nice and strong through your center and keeping that pelvic tilt. Keeping the hips at shoulder height. That is 2 minutes. Well done. Coming back into rest position. So now with sore knees, if this rest position is not agreeing with you, you can, if that's hurting in through those knees, you can lie on your back and hug the knees to the chest. So you can hold behind if it's too painful to hug in that way. That's the rest position if those knees are hurting to kneel on them. All right. We will do a few more abdominals. So we will do side to side. Arms around shoulder level, feet together, knees together. And relaxing those legs across to the side. Squeeze core and inner thighs to lift. Push through with your hips. So pushing through with those hips, shoulders nice and flat, and across to the other side. Push through with your hips and back up to the center. Now knees are in line with the belly button and feet are a little bit higher than the knees. Take the legs halfway or as low to the floor as you can with that opposite shoulder remains flat. Use the abdominals to lift the legs back up again. Keep your knees glued together. Don't allow those knees to separate. If your shoulder is lifting up, only take the legs as low as you can there and go halfway. Don't lift that shoulder off the floor. Breathing out as you lower and a deep breath in as you lift. Squeezing core, squeezing inner thighs, and one more. And back up to the center. Relax the feet down. And now you'll stretch, knees vertically stacked. Bring them nice and close into your armpit. If you want a firmer stretch, stretch that top leg straight and pull your ankle to the floor. I do like these side to side. They're good for the lower back. And so we need that flexibility. We don't always get that rotation. So it is a good one. It's a nice gentle one on the lower back as well. Across to the other side, so carefully and slowly up. So knees in, and if you hold it on the other side, straighten the leg, pull your ankle to the floor, try and get that shoulder as flat on the floor as you can. Squeeze the use the abdominals carefully and slowly up. And lots of banging and crashing outside with that building. Squeeze the noises. Rock those knees in. Okay, we will do rollbacks. So this is your last abdominal one before we concentrate more on the knees. So glue your knees together Now, if the rollbacks are not agreeing with that lower back, you can go do perfect abdominal curl, just squeezing ribs to hips, maintaining that natural curve. Holding hand weights will make it easier. Using your band will make it easier. I'll just show you a few with the band. Being really careful to keep that same angle at the knees. What we're after is that tucking of the pelvis, that pelvic tilt that you isolate into the abdominals. So keep that same. So I'm just demonstrating with the band, just halfway down and tuck, lift through the tailbone. Shoulder blades are in pocket and squeeze ribs to hips. So don't straighten out. You're wasting your time if you're doing this sort of thing. So just halfway down, tucking with the pelvis, squeeze ribs to hips, or take yourself down as low as you can. Using the band helps to make it a little bit easier to get your tucking. Keep that same angle. Keep watching those knees. To protect your neck, look down towards those abdominals. All right, try to keep in time with me now. Just going as low as you comfortably can. Breathing out to roll back, deep breath in. And last breath out, squeezing ribs to hips to come up. Tuck your chin and look towards those abdominals. Squeeze ribs to hips on the way up. Flex your feet strongly and keep those knees glued together. All the movement comes with the tucking of the pelvis, not straightening of your legs. So you're better off just going halfway down and tucking as opposed to straightening the legs and going back. If you're doing that, don't go all the way back. So it's all in, keeping that same angle so the movement happens at the pelvis using the abdominals. Sink into the hips, tucking, tucking, tucking. And a last breath out to help you up. Keep those shoulder blades into pocket. Squeezing ribs to hips. Tucking, tucking, tucking. Last breath out. Sink into the hips, curve into your back. And a last breath out. Keep your knees glued together. Last one, roll down, stay down. Arms are up and overhead, have that nice stretch. Just lift up, move those buttocks out the way. And so pressing the back of the arms to the floor. Tuck your chin and press the back of the neck to the floor, shoulder blades to the floor. Pelvic tilt to press that lower back down. And straighten the legs to press the back of the legs to the floor. And easing out of that. Okay, so with those sore knees, we want to support that kneecap better. We want to work through the inner thigh, the front of the thigh, and the buttock and outer thigh. So bridging is actually one of those exercises where you're working quite a number of those muscles. We're going to pop a rolled up towel between the inner thighs so that you're concentrating on those inner thighs. You will notice the buttocks work and that outer thigh is also working. It's good for your lower back as well. So we're actually going to start with bridging. So bridging is one of those exercises. If you do nothing else during the day, do some bridging. You're killing lots of birds with one stone. And peeling the spine off and rolling the spine down, really good for those sore backs as well. So I'm just going to take my towel to demonstrate. So, palms are facing up, no pillow behind the head, and your shoulders are nice and open. So, pelvic tilt, really pressing that lower back down. Sharon, have you got that back flat? Good. Squeeze the buttocks tight as you peel your spine off. Now you're aiming to get that straight line from your shoulder to your knee. Now hold it there as you lengthen through the crown of the head and lengthen through the knees and maintain that tuck of the pelvis and squeeze against your inner thigh. Squeeze that tight. Tucking with the pelvis, still squeezing, and roll it down. Last thing you do is release the pelvic tilt. So pelvic tilt, really pressing that lower back flat. Now squeeze your inner thighs, squeeze the buttocks, peel your spine off. Get movement through the vertebra. Tuck your chin in, shoulders nice and open, press those shoulder blades into the floor. Make sure you've got a nice straight line. Make sure you're not going into a sag in that lower back. keep that tuck of the pelvis. Really squeeze the towel between your knees and squeeze your buttocks tight. Tuck with the pelvis, roll your spine down one vertebra at a time. And the very last thing you do is release the tuck just to the neutral, no pushing forwards into a large arch. Pelvic tilt, hold it there a moment. Make sure you are pulling the tummy in and never brace by pushing out, and also engage through the pelvic floor. Now peel your spine off the floor, squeeze the buttocks tight, lengthening through the crown of the head, lengthening through the knees, and squeeze that towel between your knees. And roll your spine down. Last thing you do is release the pelvic tilt. Now this last one, we're going to lift it up and do some pulses so that you really feel the buttocks working by the end of this. Check that your ankle is in underneath your knee. So pelvic tilt, peeling off, squeeze the buttocks, now blast breath. So lower about 5 centimeters, blast breath out to push back up. Make sure that you are maintaining that tuck with the pelvis and squeezing in from your inner thighs. So it's last breath out. Keep your chin tucked in and make sure that you're really getting those buttocks and inner thighs working. So squeeze that towel between your knees. Squeeze those buttocks tight. Just a small range of movement, pulsing up so that you get those buttocks and inner thighs working. Last breath out. Pulse your hips up towards the ceiling. I'm hoping those buttocks are starting to burn. We've got 5 more. Last breath out. Roll your spine down. Release the tuck of the pelvis and hug your knees in close. Squeeze your knees into your chest. So rock them in. With those knees a circle, just massaging into your lower back. With the lower back. Reverse your circle. Okay. To work the inner thighs, we're going to do single leg circles. It's more of a capital D. So, you're going to be using the abdominals to keep your pelvis nice and stable. We're going to work the right leg first. Left knee is at a 90. Left thumb underneath the buttock. And the right foot is flexed and turned out. Now you can pop those leg weights on. So we're going to be doing a few leg ones now. So feel free to pop those leg weights on. Put them on both legs. So with this one, we're going to be concentrating on the inner thigh as well as your core stability. All about keeping that pelvis stable. You will be keeping your natural curve. And the smaller your capital D, the easier the exercise. So it's straight down and a semicircle around as you do it. So imagine you're drawing a capital D on your side wall. So start with your knees level and your capital D is below the level of that bench knee. So don't bring it up, it should stay below. So you should not see my leg rising up above that other one. Pressing the fingers of into the inner thigh of that right leg helps connect that muscle. Check that your pelvis is square and stable. You're not tilted off to one side. Lock that right knee out straight. Turn the foot out. Flex the foot. Breathe out to lower and a deep breath in to raise. Keeping equal pressure through onto the buttocks. That's why my thumb is underneath that left buttock so that I'm not lifting up and swaying off that left buttock as I swing that leg out to the side. And keep that bench knee still. Don't let it have a little flip-flop around. So you're just isolating into that right inner thigh. Check that your knee is locked out, completely straight, and that your foot is strongly flexed. One more, and now reverse. So take it out and bring it up. Not too high, just so that your knees are level once that leg is lifted. You are maintaining your natural curve, and those abdominals are working to keep your pelvis stable, to keep the pressure on that left buttock. Lock your knee straight. You should be feeling that inner thigh by now. and change legs. Now when you change legs, I want you to look and check that your pelvis is square and that you're not starting with your pelvis tilted to one side. My right thumb is in underneath my right buttock and left foot flexed and turned out means I'm starting off level. So drawing your capital D on the wall. So imagine you had a paintbrush on your heel and you're drawing that capital D on your sample. Keep that left knee locked out completely straight and make the circle from your hip joint. Beelining to keep your pelvis stable, keep the pressure onto that right buttock. Keep your chin tucked in, your neck long. One more, reverse your circle. So the larger that semicircle, the fatter your capital D, the more challenging your exercise. You aim to get it as large as you can, where you're able to keep your pelvis stable and keeping that left knee locked out straight. Breathing out to lower and a deep breath in to raise. And hug those knees into your chest. Well done. So that's working through your inner thigh. Now we're going to work buttock and outer thigh. We'll do a couple of ones for this. So first of all, we're going to do just raises, where I really want you to concentrate on squeezing through the buttocks. Whole upper body in a nice straight line. Bend your bottom knee forwards. Make sure that you are tucking with your pelvis. We're going to do 10 with that leg slightly forwards, and then 10 with that leg far forwards. If it is too uncomfortable with it far forwards, just choose a position where you're not straining too much into that hip. But keep long through that rib to hip area. Toes are facing slightly down, and then we're concentrating on the outer thigh and the buttock. If you turn your toes up, it's more going to be through the front of the thigh. So lift that leg up, push out through your heel and squeeze the buttocks tight. Lock your knees straight, squeeze your core. Check your hips are vertically stacked. Lift that leg out to a 45-degree angle, push out through your heel and squeeze the buttocks and down. Shoulder blades are in pocket. Lift it up, squeeze the buttocks tight and then down. So raise, squeeze the buttocks tight and down. Lifting, squeezing the buttocks, pushing out through that heel, knee locked straight. Lift, hold, 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 and down. So raise and hold, knee locked straight, pushing out through your heel and down. Raise, hold, squeeze the buttocks and down. Lifting, squeezing the buttocks tight and down. One more, lift, squeezing the buttocks and down. Now with the leg further forward, we're going to do another 10, and it's just going to be a flowing movement, not a hold, but I still want you to concentrate on squeezing those buttocks. So take that leg as far forwards as you comfortably can, breathing out to lift and into lower. Still keeping that knee as straight as possible and concentrate on squeezing through the buttocks. Breathing out to lift and breathing in to lower. So it is a flowing movement. No kicking that leg up. They are watching you. Squeeze the buttocks as you raise. Control the movement on the way down. One more. Lift it and hold it. Push out through your heel and keep holding. Holding, holding, holding. And relax. Hopefully you feel the buttocks by now. And over onto the other side. So whole upper body in a nice straight line, arm resting, head resting on your arm, looking forwards, bend that bottom knee forwards, top leg slightly forwards, check that you're tucking with the pelvis, not swelling into your lower back, toes slightly down, lift, push out through your heel, lock the knee and squeeze the buttocks, and then down. So lifting, push out through that heel, lock your knees straight, squeeze your buttocks tight, and down. So lift, squeeze the buttocks tight, and down. Lifting, squeezing, pushing out through that heel, and down. Make sure you're squeezing your core. Strong center, squeeze the buttocks, and down. Breathing out to lift, and in to lower. Breathing out to raise, squeezing the buttocks, and in to lower. One more. And relax it down. Now you're bringing that leg forwards, and it's a flowing movement. Breathing out to raise, in to lower. Lock your knees straight, have your toes facing slightly down. Slowly lift and slowly lower. One more, lift it and hold it. Push out through that heel, squeeze the buttocks, holding, 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 and relax. Well done. Okay, and a buttock stretch. Try crossing, so you can still do the wide knee buttock stretch, otherwise try crossing your knees over close. So right knee over the left, hold in front of that far knee, squeeze your thighs in towards your chest, far knee more or less in line with your nose. Have those thighs close, stretch through the buttocks. And changing the sides, left knee over right, hold in front of that right knee, hug the thighs to your chest, far knee in line with the nose, squeeze your thighs in close. Hopefully you felt those buttocks working. And easing out of that. Okay. Now you've got a couple of options for your next one. An easy option, so if those knees are really sore, you can roll a towel up and pop that in underneath your knees. And you're leaning slightly back. And you can make sure that your feet are straight, lock those knees. You will notice how my heels are lifting up off the floor. Get a strong thigh contraction. You can, if those knees are really sore, do one at a time. But doing both together, you can check if they're equally coming up off the floor. So often you will notice, so for example, if my left knee was sore, you would notice that my left leg is lagging slightly down. So by doing them both together, you're trying to get them working equally. So lock, hold for between the count of 5 and 10, getting those thigh muscles working. Now, other than that, so that's your easier one, but we're going to do some sit to stand off the chair. And I'm going to time you, and I'd like you to count and see how many sit to stand you manage in 1 minute. But just check that positioning with your sit to stand. I'm just showing you forwards first. You can take your leg weights off, but don't worry if they're still on. You're wanting to make sure that your kneecaps are in line with that second toe. So when you take yourself down, watch out for that little inwards roll. Keep those legs aligned. Imagine you are holding something. So just really careful with keeping that alignment and showing you sideways. So you're wanting to get those feet in underneath you so that you lean forwards, push through your heels and squeeze the buttocks to come up. Just going to change that a little bit so you can see me better there. So you'll be sitting on the edge of the chair. Your back should be straight, flat. Okay? So watch out for that. That's not what you want. So you lean forward, squeeze the buttocks, push up through your heels, and you end up straight. As you take yourself down, once again, that flat back, stick your bottom out. You can feel that chair, and you take yourself down. But safely, trying to see how many you can do in the space of 1 minute, and timing now. So arms are up, squeeze the buttocks, take yourself down. Nice and smooth and gently pushing through the heels, keeping those legs aligned, keeping your back nice and straight. Watch out for that overarching into your lower back. So you should have no discomfort into your lower back. And I have lost count already because I'm talking. But anyway, you get the gist of it. You can do the counting and make sure that you're counting, seeing how many you are managing. I'll try and speed it up a little bit. Squeeze the buttocks to push up. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Working those thighs, working through the buttocks. So squeeze the buttocks. Push through your heels. Drive yourself up. Squeeze the buttocks. Make sure those knees are staying aligned. And that's already a minute. I'd be interested to know how many you managed. You can always message me later. Okay, we're going to bring it back down onto the floor for I'm just finishing off with some back strengthening. Just a couple of back strengthening. Actually, first of all, I will just show you how to roll your IT band with that roller. So often with sore knees, as I said before, you can have tight IT band, which is why we get the IT band stretch. That's really good. It is painful, but the more you do it, the more it loosens up and it's not painful any longer.
The Google One isn't set up yet. To get started, download the Google One app on phone or tablet.
Google's having a chat to me. So you start with that roller about midway on your thigh. Okay. It's easier if you're on your elbow, more of a challenge if you're on your hand. Try to keep that leg riding, lock down straight. Take it to the knee and to the hip. Keep yourself nice and vertically stacked. If you do find a sore spot, you can have a little rock and roll on that sore spot. If you'd like to work harder, lift both feet up off the floor and look for those sore spots into that IT band. Give it a roll out. So about midway down there is sore for me, so you just have a little roll on that. And you do both sides, so we'll just briefly do the other side. So start with that roller. The position can be a bit awkward. Start about midway through that thigh, so that you have got room to maneuver. Make sure that you are vertically stacked so that you're getting onto that IT band. Squeeze your core. So make sure you do go all the way to the knee and all the way to the hip, so that you see where those painful spots are. When you find them, then you have a little rock and roll on those sore spots. And easing out of that, and we've got time for one back strengthening. So we'll make it my favorite. Holding on to hand weights if you have them. So this one works your triceps, back of the arms, upper back and lower back. Palms are facing inwards, feet stay on the floor, feet are shoulder distance, lifting up, pinch your shoulder blades, release it down. Now, Deb, being careful not to pull from your neck. Head comes along to the right, your chin is gently tucked in. So don't leave the head behind and don't overarch. Bring the head up with you. Breathing out to lower. One more. Release it gently. And back extensions. Hands next to your shoulders. Or if your back is sore, put your hands a little further forwards. Just get some arching into that lower back. So much forwards bending, we do need to get that reverse bend. So if your back is sore, just gradually nudge yourself higher. So all within your limits of discomfort. One more. Into rest position. So remember your alternative rest position with sore knees is lying on your back. And easing out of that, we'll do a standing spine roll. So a deep breath in, grow taller. Breathing out, chin to chest and roll it down. Notice how far down you are reaching. Breathe out, loose the abdominals and uncurl to the upright. Just do a quick posture check. Feet are hip distance, feet are more or less straight. You've got the tripod foot position, knees are soft, tummy in, tailbone down, shoulder blades are in pocket, chin is tucked in, neck, head right on top of the neck, balancing on the neck, look over your shoulder and across to the other side. Drop your head right back, chin to chest, and ear to shoulder, gentle pull, pressing down through the heel of the hand, keeping your shoulders level, and across to the other side. Easing out of it, clasp your hands and try to lift your arms up as high as you can. And release, relax out through those shoulders. So if you do have sore feet or knees, snack on those exercises throughout the day or week, or talk, and have a great week. Look out for that surprise snack. Well done.